Introducing PBS Passport, a new member benefit that lets you binge the latest seasons and catch up on your favorites.
You've made me a happy man.
Anytime you want, anywhere you are.
Unbelievable. Awesome, isn't it?
Support your PBS station and get Passport.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
Find more ways to explore at pbs.org/anywhere.
Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
We was the greatest show in town. When I say the word Arizona State football, that's what you think of.
Well, move! He had a commitment to winning like nobody I've ever been around in my life.
We did not want to lose to that man.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Hospice of the Valley, medical, social, and spiritual care for patients nearing end of life, and support for their families. A not-for-profit community hospice, HOV.org.
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores & Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS, 480-725-9602.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Cronkite News investigates gun sales and background checks in Arizona following the latest string of mass shootings nationwide.
And today is Election Day, and Maricopa County voters were greeted by some new systems at the polls, how voters are adjusting to the change.
Plus, a debate in the nation's capital about the quality of care and access to attorneys for asylum-seeking women in federal detention.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening, and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Maya Petros.
And I'm Ryan Curry. Thank you for joining us.
We're tracking new gun control proposals and investigating Arizona firearm sales in the wake of the Texas tragedy. Investigators say the gunman who killed 26 people in a South Texas church Sunday, Devin Kelly, had multiple domestic violence charges and escaped from a mental health institution in New Mexico in 2012. The U.S. Air Force failed to report his criminal activity to federal agencies, which meant Kelly could purchase guns without triggering alerts in his background checks. Arizona Senator Jeff Flake says he and New Mexico Senator Martin Heinrich are working on legislation to prevent anyone convicted of domestic violence from buying a gun. Critics say the law already exists, but Flake says there's a loophole that still needs to be closed.
Now, outside of the military, domestic violence charges are sent to the National Instant Criminal Background Checks, or the NICS system. But since the military has no defined charge under the Uniform Code of Military Justice for domestic violence, convictions in military courts have gone unreported. This egregious oversight has allowed individuals such as the Texas shooter, who otherwise should not have been able to legally purchase a firearm, to do so.
Our Cronkite News team is investigating the numbers and digging into the gun sales and federal background checks in our state. Reporter Jasmine Spearing-Bowen joins us now in the broadcast center.
No permits are required to purchase or own a firearm in Arizona. And although background checks are required to buy a gun from a federally licensed dealer, no such checks are required for person-to-person sales.
Every mass shooting, from Sutherland Springs in Texas this week to Newtown, Connecticut 5 years ago, brings the same calls for stricter gun regulations.
The most severely injured that we got were 3 children that we took to the operating room immediately, and 1 adult, and all had multiple gunshot wounds.
In the blink of an eye, your whole life can change. Here it is, 26 little kids gone.
Arizona has some of the least restrictive gun laws in the country, with no permit required to own a gun and background checks only required for guns bought from federally licensed dealers, not through private sales. State Representative Randy Freese is a trauma surgeon and worked on Representative Gabby Giffords after the 2011 shooting in Tucson. He has introduced several firearm safety bills, including one for comprehensive background checks on all gun sales, but none have passed.
About 40% or so purchases in Arizona of weapons is done without a background check through personal, person-to-person sales, things like that, or even at gun shows where if you're not a federally licensed dealer, you're not required to do the background check.
Federally licensed dealers are required to run background checks through the National Instant Criminal Background Check System on anyone purchasing a firearm since 1998. More than 111 million background checks were performed nationally through 2016 by the FBI. 1.3 million of those were denied, according to a 2016 FBI report. Charles Heller is part of the Arizona Citizens Defense League, which works to strengthen Second Amendment rights through legislation.
Generally speaking, it's a lot easier for most people to own a firearm than most people in the country who don't own firearms think it is. And the vast majority of them are law-abiding.
Heller said the recent mass shooting in Las Vegas proves that background checks don't prevent crimes.
If you look at all the major mass shootings, the criminals either bypassed the background check or passed it before they committed the crimes.
Freese said he will continue to push for new gun safety measures.
Sitting back and saying we can't do anything about it is not acceptable. It's simply not acceptable when people are dying.
There is no way for Arizonans to really know how many guns are in the state because there is no requirement to disclose certain sales. Freese estimates that 40% of gun sales in Arizona are never recorded. For our full multimedia investigative report on Arizona's gun sales and statistics, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org. Jasmine Spearing-Bowen, Cronkite News.
All Arizona agencies will adopt new hiring procedures in an effort to reduce recidivism. Governor Doug Ducey's Second Chance box will delay questions related to an applicant's criminal record until after the initial interview stage. Ducey says this will ensure full and fair consideration for all applicants. An estimated 1.5 million Arizona adults have a criminal record, and having one reduces the chance of a callback in half.
Another Arizona representative has joined the race for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Senator Jeff Flake. Arizona Representative Martha McSally has joined Republican colleagues that she is running for the U.S. Senator Jeff Flake's seat in 2018. She has not made a formal announcement of her intention to run for the Republican primary against Kelly Ward, a former state senator who is backed by President Trump. Meanwhile, Democratic Representative Kyrsten Sinema is seeking her party's nomination along with other Democrats.
Maricopa County voters were greeted by a new system of voting today, Election Day. Cronkite News reporter Steven Sidner traveled to the Elections Department to see how voters were adjusting to the change.
For those wanting to cast their vote today, there's some changes to the election process in Maricopa County. First, all voters were mailed their ballots for today's election.
I want folks to make sure that they make their selection on the ballots, sign that outside envelope because that's how we verify your identity, and then bring it on into one of our 27 ballot centers.
Second, replacing more than 700 smaller polling locations with those 27 ballot centers. Maricopa County residents traveled to those ballot centers to drop off their ballot, walk in, and fill one out.
Oh, I had read that I could come to this location and vote, and I crossed my finger I had read it right, or else I was going to go hop the train back over to my P.O. box and pick up my ballot.
Joseph Risha was able to vote despite the fact he didn't have his ballot with him. They printed one and he filled it out. Risha says it was very easy compared to previous elections.
I had that problem of the not enough locations. I got caught in the, fortunately where I was at, I didn't have to wait so many extra hours like people did, but it was a long wait.
That's the exact problem that Fontes is trying to prevent.
The great majority of voters in Maricopa County do vote by mail. And in jurisdictional elections like this, the number of people actually showing up to the polls has diminished from something in 2013 it was less than 5%, and in 2015 it was less than 3%.
Even though it's a jurisdictional election, Risha wouldn't miss it.
Issues are really important. In this case, I'm voting for school bonds for the district that I live in. You know, I think that's really valid.
Risha encourages others to make sure they fulfill their civic duty. In Phoenix, Steven Sidner, Cronkite News.
You still have a little time left to get in your vote. Ballot centers close tonight at 7.
The U.S. Border Patrol is adding mesh panels to the border fence in Nogales, Arizona, in an effort to deter people from smuggling items into the city's downtown area. There is no specific incident or apprehension connected to the decision. A Border Patrol spokesperson said the project is just part of the agency's continuous effort to update the border's infrastructure.
The Trump administration will end the protected immigration status of thousands of Central Americans who've been living in the U.S. nearly 2 decades, urging Congress to act if it wants to spare those individuals from being deported. Protesters took to the streets in New York after the DHS announced Monday night that about 2,000 Nicaraguans who have temporary protected status must leave or seek another form of legal residency. The Trump administration has yet to decide on the fate of Hondurans living in the U.S. with provisional residency status. Meanwhile, those affected by Monday's decision will be able to stay until January 5th of 2019.
Immigrants are detained on U.S. borders every day, and a recent report says women seeking asylum here are too often held with other immigrants in detention facilities that can be wanting. Cronkite News reporter Trevor Fay went to the Capitol Hill for the debate over conditions they face.
Complaints about the quality of medical care, of access to attorneys, even availability of feminine hygiene products. Those are among the issues raised by asylum-seeking women who have been held by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, according to a report by the Women's Refugee Commission. Isabel Solis shared her sister's story of detention with congressional representatives at a public forum on Capitol Hill.
We had to push for ICE to provide, like I said, basic medical care in order for her to get it. And she was lucky to receive this medical attention because we were doing advocacy on the outside for her.
Representative Lucille Roybal-Allard of California read the details of the report, which was based on interviews with 150 women at 7 ICE detention facilities across the Southwest.
Immigrant women in detention are forced to utilize used underwear, lack sufficient and appropriate feminine hygiene products.
Sarah Rodriguez of ICE's Office of Public Affairs wrote in an email that ICE ensures the quality of medical, mental, and dental care to all people in its custody. Dora Shariro was an ICE official in the Obama administration. She says the criminalization of the detention system is troubling, but people misunderstand the basics of civil justice procedure.
The general public also, I think, is extremely unaware that the protections that we're so accustomed to in the criminal justice system don't apply in the civil justice system.
The panel is calling on Congress to enact greater oversight on agencies like Immigration, Customs Enforcement, and Customs and Border Protection. In Washington, Trevor Fay, Cronkite News.
The Dignity for Detained Immigrants Act, which proponents say would fix immigration detention issues, currently has 62 co-sponsors in the House. It has not yet been brought to a vote. Arizona State University put the finishing touches on some of the new renovations to campus.
That's right. Coming up on Cronkite News, a new place for some students to practice their faith.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
When a story comes in the morning, we're out the door as fast as we can go.
But it's also great to spend more time in communities and produce projects.
From the borderlands to the cities, the reservations, and even the state capitol, we want to get to the heart of the matter.
When the lights come on in the studio, we know our hard work is about to pay off.
We love what we do here at Cronkite News.
We're proud to tell the stories of our state.
Now, more than ever, it's important to have a trusted news source, and that's Cronkite News.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Exploring, it's the lifeblood of the mission.
Human beings are a curious bunch.
What are we going to see when we get really close?
Just because an idea is crazy, it's not necessarily wrong.
We were on our way.
You don't get anywhere until you've tested the limits.
That carries an intensity you can't imagine.
You could hear people just, whoa.
Oh my God, absolutely spectacular.
It's a rush.
We ask a lot of our heroes.
We are at a remarkable moment.
We're going farther than any exploration ever has.
Arizona State University has just finished phase 2 of renovations to the Memorial Union building, and some of those renovations were included to help people practice their faith. Cronkite News reporter Blakely McHugh gives us a tour.
ASU's Memorial Union has updated its dining, entertainment, and study areas with more open space, new pool tables, and better accessibility. But the thousands of students who utilize the Tempe Union every day may not notice recent renovations added a place for students to practice their religious beliefs. It's called the Interfaith Reflection Room, and right next to it are ablution rooms.
Muslims, before they pray, they have to make wudu, so ablution, ritualistic purification. So that's basically performing like a cleanse of your body before you pray.
Wudu involves cleansing the body, including the head, face, hands, arms, and feet. The university included the rooms in the $10 million renovations to ensure that students felt included on campus.
ASU is a very inclusive university, and so we've got a lot of faiths represented across the student body. And so I think it's important to recognize that and to be sensitive to that and appreciate their desires.
Students from the Muslim Student Association here at ASU say rooms like these make them feel valued on university campuses. According to Pew Research Center, people who identify themselves as Muslims make up about 1% of Arizona's population.
ASU is like recognizing the fact that, you know, there's Muslim students on campus and they need a place like this, and that makes you feel important. That makes you feel like, oh, they care. They actually notice that we need a place to pray and a place to, you know, make wudu.
Student Malij Zara says it's the key attention to detail, from the signs down to the shoe cubbies, that make this place special. In Tempe, Blakely McHugh, Cronkite News.
According to Neville, only a handful of universities across the U.S. have rooms equipped for Muslim prayer.
The state of Arizona is full of great natural beauty, but maintaining it takes some work. Coming up on Cronkite News, a look at the annual volunteer effort to clean up the largest of Arizona's forests.
We are sitting under mostly cloudy skies here in downtown Phoenix, but are these clouds packing any rain? Your full 7-day forecast is coming up in just a few minutes.
Fridays, it's at Cronkite News, your social sharing connection where you choose the news. Facebook likes and shares, tweets, retweets, and favorites. YouTube views and subscriptions. We're watching you watch us. From our digital home at cronkitenews.azpbs.org to your television, web browser, or mobile device. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Then join us for at Cronkite News, our weekly refresh, each Friday at 5 on Arizona PBS.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in. Arizona State wins. Heaving one deep, and it is caught. Jalen Strong, do you
believe it? I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. Join us each weekday at 5:30 and 10 as we bring you the top newsmakers who impact the state. We cover the stories in depth that shape and affect our local communities, and we take the time to ensure that all voices are equally heard. For more than 30 years, Arizona Horizon has been your voice and your source for what matters most, right here on Arizona PBS.
Volunteers drove trucks into the desert and hauled out loads of trash in the 8th annual cleanup of Tonto National Forest. Cronkite News reporter Tatum Hubble shows us how the volunteers work to maintain Arizona's natural beauty in the Four Peaks area.
Every November, volunteers spread out across Tonto National Forest on a mission to collect tons of trash. They find everything from furniture to hundreds of bullet shells.
When we first started this cleanup, we started with a simple compactor truck, and we loaded that up in no time. And then in subsequent years, we went to 2 40-yard roll-off dumpsters, and now we're filling 4 40-yard roll-off dumpsters every year. Last year, we hauled out 27,000 pounds of garbage. The year before that, in 2015, it was 47,000.
Members of the Copper State Four-Wheelers Club organized the Four Peaks cleanup. They hope the amount of trash collected will continue to decline.
Take back what you bring out. Don't leave any trash you shoot up. Make sure you take it back with you. You know, the ultimate goal would be to put the Copper State Four-Wheelers out of a job where they don't have to pick up 40,000 tons of trash every year.
Four Peaks Cleanup is dedicated to preserving Tonto National Forest and preventing the amount of trash being discarded in Arizona's desert. According to the U.S. Forest Service, nearly 6 million people visit the forest every year for recreational activities, like target shooting, hiking, and horseback riding.
It's very important we come every year to clean this up, because if we leave this trash here, they're eventually going to close this place.
Forest advocates urge visitors to act responsibly and take out their trash. In Tonto National Forest, Tatum Hubble, Cronkite News.
Starting November 20th, people who bring inappropriate shooting targets like propane tanks into Tonto National Forest may be fined up to $5,000.
Well, the cloud cover is bringing temperatures down all across the state.
That's right. Emily Bloom is tracking our forecast.
We are currently sitting at 80 degrees here in downtown Phoenix. We are under mostly cloudy skies. We had a high this afternoon of 82 degrees, and we started our morning off at 59 degrees. Now, we are currently sitting under our 75th day without any kind of rainfall here in Phoenix. This is our 12th longest stretch on record. The last time we had any kind of rainfall was August 23rd, and the last time we went this long was 1974. The current record is 160 days, which was set back in 1972. Now, taking a look at our futurecast, we do have a little bit of a weak weather disturbance making its way across the state right now. That is what is bringing all of the current rainfall. As you can see, the cell of energy here passing over the southeast corner of our state. Those of you in that area do have some precipitation to look forward to this evening. Taking a look at the bigger picture, we've got this area of low pressure up in the Pacific Northwest right now, coupled with this area of high pressure over in Mexico. As our weather system progresses in the coming days, these two weather systems are going to be moving in closer, kind of sandwiching those of us here in Arizona between these two systems. This area of high pressure is going to be building a ridge over our state, and that is what is going to be keeping all of that precipitation out of our region. So still no rain anywhere in the next 7 days. Taking a look across the state right now, we've got 57 for those of you in Show Low, 54 up at the Grand Canyon, 77 in Lake Havasu, and 79 down in Tucson. As we head into the rest of our week, Thursday we break free from those clouds and that high bounces up to 86 degrees. For Saturday, your Veterans Day, we have a high of 84 with that overnight low at 59, and then we hold strong on those highs in the mid-80s through the beginning of next week. For Cronkite Weather, I'm Emily Bloom.
Just a few days ago, the iPhone 10, the latest high-tech phone on the market, came out.
But this Arizona museum, you won't find anything like that. Coming up on Cronkite News, a look at the decades of history you can dial up at the Pioneer Telephone Museum.
Show where we tackle the taboo and debate the tough questions with some of the most interesting minds in the game. I'm Carlos Watson, electrifying conversation, Friday, only on PBS.
This fall,
I'm so excited! What?
from the inspiring to the amazing.
You're in the presence of history.
The compelling.
He said, "Welcome home." It was just a powerful moment.
To the astounding.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
And from the breathtaking.
This is real.
A journey to Mars.
To the electrifying.
We're going to change the world.
All this and more. All this fall.
Oh my God!
From rotary to wall-mounted to even the old Mickey Mouse phone, you can find all of those relics to the past in a new place. Cronkite News reporter Inkirka Marnier went to a museum that displays the phone's humble beginnings.
What was your favorite one?
The hamburger phone.
Why is that?
Because I love hamburgers.
Visitors walking through the Telephone Museum in Phoenix can pick their own favorite from the dozens of phones of the past century.
Put a quarter in, you get a ball.
Joe Hersey spent decades working in the telephone industry and is a part of the Telephone Pioneers, a nonprofit organization that has similar telephone museums in places like Denver, Albuquerque, and right here in Arizona. But last year, the future of these museums was unsure when their sponsor CenturyLink decided to cut the cord.
In the business sense, we are not a profit maker. We do not make money.
CenturyLink provided a space for telephone museums to display the phones, but without the support, a few of the museums had to close.
I didn't want to throw it all in a dumpster, because that's where this whole thing was headed if we didn't find a home for it.
Hersey and his team moved to the Pioneer Living History Museum in Phoenix, where they regularly host class tours.
The majority of them that come in are very excited. There's a lot of hands-on displays that we use, so the kids are they seem interested in it.
I like that you could see how phones have changed over time.
It was nice to see how they worked and not just like, here's the phone, move on.
While the kids say it's a cool place, Hersey says there's a lot more to it than that.
Well, it's part of our history, and it's it shows what we have built on to give your generation what you have today.
The move from the old building started in January, and the museum will have its grand opening later this month.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, new research into the chances of a super volcano erupting at Yellowstone Park. And we'll check out a glass-blowing lab where glass meets science. It's the next Arizona Horizon.
I'm John Yang. On the next NewsHour, in a closely watched election, Virginia voters head to the polls to pick their next governor. That's Tuesday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Next time on the Vietnam War. As the war grinds on, young American men face a difficult choice, and chaos reigns at the Democratic Convention in Chicago.
I thought the country was coming apart at the seams.
As the Vietnam War continues.
Tonight at 8 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
The easiest and best way to support Arizona PBS is by becoming a sustaining member. Your monthly contribution of $5 or more comes directly from your bank account or credit card, so you know your membership is always current. It also means no more renewal notices in your mailbox. So more of your dollars go to the programs you love. It's convenient for you, greener for us, and better for the planet. Become a sustaining member today.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online. Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
Coming up on Arizona Collectibles.
I don't think you could ever recreate this. It's a one of a kind.
President Gerald Ford owned this chair.
But look how beautiful it is. You are really lucky to own this piece.
Thursday night at 7:30 on Arizona PBS.
Many veterans are haunted by their wartime experience.
It really came to me that I need to do something now to help myself.
They plan to walk 2,700 miles.
Almost Sunrise on POV.
Monday night at 11:30 on Arizona PBS.
We was the greatest show in town. When I say the word Arizona State football, that's what you think of.
Well, move! He had a commitment to winning like nobody I've ever been around in my life.
We did not want to lose to that man.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Friendship Village Tempe, a retirement community for over 30 years, offers independent living with residency options, lifelong learning classes, as well as continuing care. Information at friendshipvillageaz.com.
Whitfill Nursery, proud to support Arizona PBS, a Valley tradition since 1946. Over 200 acres of Arizona-grown trees, citrus, and palms. Complete custom design and installation. And Whitfill Nursery still does the digging. WhitfillNursery.com.
Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, domestic violence looks to be the motivation behind Sunday's mass shooting in Texas. We'll hear why domestic violence is so difficult to curtail. Also tonight, a scientist talks about the likelihood of a super eruption from a super volcano. And we'll meet a woman whose glass-blowing work helps to make scientific discoveries possible. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Congresswoman Martha McSally has told Republican colleagues that she is planning to enter the race for Jeff Flake's U.S. Senate seat. McSally, who represents the Tucson-based 2nd Congressional District, is facing a tough re-election bid. As for the Senate race, she would face Kelly Ward and perhaps others in the Republican primary. Representative Kirsten Sinema is seeking the Democratic nomination for Flake's seat. Well, we're getting more information about Sunday's mass shooting at a Texas church that killed 26 people. It's reported that the shooter had a history of mental illness and domestic violence and spent more than a year in jail after being court-martialed from the Air Force for abusing his wife and child. Joining us now to talk about domestic violence and how it can impact those beyond immediate family members is Thea Walsh from the Arizona Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Let's kind of define terms here. What are we talking about when we talk about domestic violence?
So when we're talking about domestic violence, we're talking about power and control. And it usually takes place in a cycle. So it starts out where tension is building between the couple. Things are very tense, and then it slowly escalates into an act of intense violence, physical violence. And then you go into a honeymoon phase where the abuser says that he's very sorry, he'll never do it again, is very charming and charismatic. And then the cycle starts all over again where tension builds over time, there's an aggressive act of violence, and then that honeymoon phase all over again. And this can take place over a period of one day or a couple months, it really depends.
Now, that kind of a definition, has that changed over time?
No, that's a standard definition.
Okay, so it's always kind of been that way.
Mm-hmm.
Who is more likely to commit domestic violence? I noticed in your example you said he. Mostly men?
It is predominantly men. So I do want to honor and acknowledge that both men and women can be victims and perpetrators of abuse, but it is predominantly men who are perpetrating abuse against women.
Age of perpetrators, age of victims. What do you usually see out there?
Age doesn't really discriminate, or domestic violence doesn't discriminate based on age, race, socioeconomic status. it can happen to anyone.
So young couples in their 20s, older couples in the 60s, 70s, 80s, I mean, it can still happen.
And then it's also common to see abuse going on between family members, especially with older adults. There may be some financial abuse going on in the home by another family member.
Right.
It can look in different shapes and forms.
I was going to say, when the controlling stuff spills into violence, how often does that happen? How often do we see, and obviously we're going to get to the real serious, you know, murder, suicides and things, but is it a gradual thing? Do you see those steps?
Yes, you do see those steps. And like I was saying, domestic violence can take place in different forms. So there's economic abuse, where maybe the abuser is holding control over the finances in the home. There's emotional and verbal abuse. Abusers don't just come home one day and slap you across the face. It's something that gradually escalates over the time, and it's all about power and control, and that can take place in different ways. So over finances, using the kids, being manipulative, isolation. There are a lot of different things to look for in abuse, but it all escalates into physical abuse.
When you look for those things, when do you start looking for those things moving on now into violence in the form of murder? I mean, we just saw this in Texas, and this guy, 26 people are dead because of this guy not being able to control himself regarding family members. Are there hints? Can you see this coming?
Yes. So one of the things that you look for when doing a lethality assessment with survivors is if there is a firearm in the home. And if there's a presence of a firearm when in a DV situation, that increases the woman's homicide risk by 500%.
Holy smokes. I noticed that the most common cause of death, 2/3 of these murderers and murder-suicides, guns are involved.
Yes, that is definitely true, especially in Arizona. I track and monitor